We got some people on here. What's up? What's up? Thanks for coming by. Hope you all are doing well. I'm just trying to see if I can hear myself. And I can. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We have, oh my God, look at everybody just coming in here now. That's nice. Hope you all are doing well. The other day we strung the Gravity Tour. Now we're stringing a different racket. We're stringing this nice new Pure Drive. I haven't really made my mind up here about this PJ. I don't know. I'm yeah, I'm not sure with it yet. I can't decide if I think it's terrible or if I actually like it. The Gravity paint job though was just spectacular. Hopefully the camera is looking good for everyone here. I'm always worried about that. But yeah, here we go. So we are going to, I'm not going to take the plastic off here yet, but what I am going to do is just throw this on the machine and then get the string out. Today we are going to string it at 50 pounds. That's just normally, anywhere between 48 and 50 is where I am stringing all my review rackets, just because it's a sweet spot for me. I don't want to throw any crazy high or, especially low tensions, just because you never know how a racket's going to perform. So I try and put it kind of middle of the pack for attention. And I'm actually not going to put 18 in the cross because the bed is pretty open. So we're going to just put, this is a good start. We're just going to put 17 in it all around. Maybe I'm just going to cut both of these. That makes some problems here already, right? Here we go. How's the Gravity you tried? I've been demoing it, prefer the VCore 98. Hey, I just recorded the video. Right before I started doing this, I recorded the video on it. I had some hours on court with it, and I will explain what I think about it in the video. So be on the lookout for that, probably next couple days. I really thought it was, let's just say I was pleasantly surprised, okay? Pleasantly surprised. Sometimes you never know what you're gonna get, I've never connected well with the Gravity, but I did this time. I'm waiting to get off work to go string 5 sticks myself. PJ and the Pure Drive looks 6, in your opinion. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I think about it yet. I like this part of the racket up, but this part of the racket back, I don't know. The drive part is just, it's really in your face. But hey, Babolat can do whatever they want, So yeah, let's get this going here. Like I said, 50 pounds with restring sync, full bed of 17 is what we're gonna rock here. Let's get this going. So 100 square inch frame, and it's been a little while since I've even played with a Pure Drive for an extended period of time. I've always had a special place with the Arrow arrow line, whether that's the new stuff or the Rafa Origin. I love the Rafa Origin. Great frame. Keeping that one forever and ever. So with that said, I haven't really given the Pure Drive much love or as much as the Pure Arrow. There's definitely a Pure Drive following and Pure Drive lovers. And yeah, we're gonna really give it a go here. What is your opinion of red, orange, green ball progressions for kids and beginners? I think it's the only way to learn tennis effectively now. That's my opinion. I coach in the summer. I coach with these progression balls. I think it's a necessity now. It makes it fun for the kids. If you have a kid or anybody watching and you want your kid to start playing tennis or they like tennis, don't give them a real ball. That's just terrible. Terrible idea. They will learn way faster with the progression balls, and they're gonna have more fun, which is the most important part. Yeah, and those stages are really key, actually, in the development stage of young tennis players, because number one, they're so young, so their brain is developing a lot, and of course they're a child, so everything's growing every day, really. So you really want to be careful that, like, in the teachings and stuff, you're using these balls and of course the mini nets to make it easier for the kids, to make it easy as possible to learn tennis. It's a pretty complicated sport, I think, for kids as it is. So I think it's great actually to have it. And of course, like I said, it makes it fun for them. So if you can make something fun for a child, that's relatively hard if you play it the real way, yeah. They do the same in hockey and basketball, right? At home, they have lighter pucks. You would never give a kid, an adult hockey stick. You would give them their junior stick with a smaller curve. They play with the blue pucks, which are lighter. Same with basketball. I believe they use smaller balls when the kids are really young. Same with golf, right? The kids don't use adult clubs right away. They might even, I don't even know if they use the same kind of weighted club or a ball for golf, like little swingers or whatever. Foodland, thank you for the dono, my man. What age do you switch a talented kid to yellow? What age do you switch a talented kid to yellow ball? There's a couple of factors, okay? Yellow ball, I think, is what you mean. So that's coming after the green dot or the green ball. There's a variety of things. First of all, if this is your kid or you're talking about somebody else's kid, first of all, I would talk to their coach if they're getting lessons. Their coach will know and be able to give them a really good idea about that. Typically, the green ball is used either for beginners that are stronger and they're adults, or it's anybody that knows how to play tennis at a pretty good level. They can hit spin. They know how to play certain shots. Like all under 10 tennis is played with green dot ball in Canada. I don't know what the rule is internationally or whatever. Like when I was under 10, if I was 8 and I wanted to play a tournament, it's green ball. 9, 10, you always play green ball. So some metrics that you could look at is, how tall are they? How strong are they? Are they able to play topspin on a ball? Can they hit all the strokes properly? Those are just some key things to remember. I would have to look at the player to know, you know, if they could. So that's the best answer I can give you. It's really important not to rush a child or a regular new tennis beginner player into switching. It's always better to be on the safer side because if you push a kid too far, you know, they're trying with a new ball, they're struggling. Like I said, it will become not fun, and yeah, they won't be able to learn because the ball it travels faster through the court and bounces higher. Did you learn with progression balls? Thanks for the detailed answer, no problem. I did learn with progression balls. When I was first starting, I played with like the foam balls. And I probably played with the foam balls too late. Like I started playing tennis when I was 7. And I used a little bit of both. I used the foam ball from Wilson, and I also used the red ball from Wilson. And then there was probably some sprinkled in play with orange, I don't remember. And then all of a sudden I was shot right into green in real ball. Luckily for me, I was pretty athletic. You know, I played a variety of sports when I was younger, so like adjusting, you know, playing with older kids, I remember playing in groups and doing trainings with kids, or just practices, really. It wasn't necessarily training, but like going to tennis lessons at the time for me. I would go, and it was like my first day with the bigger kid group. You know, they would hit harder than I would. They were a little stronger, but I was able to get by because I was athletic. So to my point, if a kid is maybe not as athletic or doesn't play multi-sports, they're gonna have a harder time adjusting to the ball change if they're not there already. If they're technically, and you know, they have a decent movement, then they will be able to level up, as we say. But it's important to note and really take into consideration everything. You know, how athletic are they? How old are they? Are they, you know, do they do all the fundamentals well? Is kind of the checklist you need to go through. So I hope that gave you a good answer. Thank you for the little dono. It's very nice of you. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, perfect. Man, that's one thing about these Babolat rackets, guys. They're so easy to string. All right, they're so easy to string. They're so straightforward. I just love it. The grommets are different in here, though. Maybe I'll talk about that in the review. The grommets are 6-sided. Every grommet is 6-sided. It's not a full circle. And that's got to be for a reason. Maybe you guys know about that. I'm not Babolat's PR person. I just review rackets. And I didn't make the racket either, so I don't know. But there's definitely some interesting tech or thought behind these grommets. Maybe it's for spin, maybe it's for power. Always interesting that brands do that. This is one of our boys in the team. He uses the Extreme Tour or Extreme Pro as well. In the past, in the Extremes, they did like spin grommets and all this stuff. Whether it was legit or not, I don't know. I ended up liking the rackets, so maybe it was legit, but sometimes grommets do help, but then sometimes it's marketing garbage. So, you know, maybe it's actually on the placard. I just took that off. Whenever I take these placards off, guys, I just lose them right away. I don't know where I end up putting them. Here it is, the placard. Does it talk about anything here? It does not. It does not. It gives me recommended tension. Recommended strings, of course they're going to recommend Babolat. Gives me some specs. It doesn't say anything here on the frame, so that makes me think it says HTR system, and that's definitely some sort of tech that's in the Racket, but it's not talking about the Grommet, so very interesting. This is the previous pure drive right here, and it does have hexagon grommets. How interesting is that, huh? Not as, these are sharper though. That's interesting. Listen, the minor details, guys. Gotta pay attention to the minor details. Would you recommend adults play orange or green dot ball? Absolutely. Like my mom, believe it or not, does not play tennis, okay? Or doesn't really play tennis. She might even be watching right now. And she played this summer really for the first time. And the first day, I think my dad brought her out with red, and then she was easily able to move into orange. And then she played for like a week. This was like at the end of the summer, and she just went out because for fun with my dad. And they played with orange ball together. So yeah, if you put an adult right into real ball, that's a tennis suicide waiting to happen. Like, terrible idea. And it's so sad because so many people end up leaving the sport actually because of that. I've seen, probably hundreds at this point, maybe even more. When you pass a tennis court driving by, maybe it's a public court, whatever that might be, and you just see people that don't really know how to play and they're just whacking it. The hackers, as me and my dad like to say, and they most of the time should be using a progression ball if they're just going over the first time, but they don't know because they don't know any better, and it's not their fault. But then it becomes not fun for them because they can't play a rally, they can't serve, they don't know what's going on. So then they're just like, you know what? Let's go play catch in the driveway, or let's go shoot pucks, and could be why less people play tennis in Canada than other sports, like, at the end of the day. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. The ball progressions are very important. Really glad that somebody brought that up. I guess a little bit more on development. When would you recommend someone to switch to an open or closed stance ground stroke, or would you leave it as in from their intuition? I mean, first of all, in group lessons, I'm never teaching. I know some people like to do it, but it's not my thing, all right? When somebody's signing up for a group lesson, it's not about technique. It's never about technique. There's technical cues that, I would give to kids in drills to focus on, like hit the ball out in front, let's work on our setup. And of course, in between drills or games, we talk about these things. But I'm never gonna say, it's very rare that I would talk about the stances unless someone had a lesson with me, like a private lesson, and they wanted to do like a practice just with me, and I would dedicate the hour to them. Especially in this orange and red progression, whether they're an adult or they're a kid and they're learning and they're developing, it's not about open and closed stance for me. It's about them having fun, whether they're good or whether they suck. It doesn't really matter. Still at this age, it's honestly just about getting it over the net and learning some fundamental cues with their technique and tactical wise. Like a lot of the time, we give just as much tactical advice to the kids as technical. So we'll give a technical thing, but then sometimes there will be practices where we will give no technical things. And this can even run down even to 5 and 6 year olds. We might talk about a grip or how to hold the tennis racket one day, but then the next day it might be they might not even have a racket in their hand, and we're gonna play throw tennis today. So we'll be like, yo, Charlie, I'm just using Charlie as an example. Like, how did you win today? What did you do to beat your opponent? And then we'll see if Charlie can answer. And he might say, well, I just kept throwing it back. And we'll be like, wow, great work, Charlie. Charlie's 5 years old. And really what Charlie means is that he was trying to be consistent. And he was just trying to get the ball back more than his partner. So these are like little tactical cues that you can use with kids or even adults. Like I did a couple adult clinics this last summer, and like you can literally say the same thing for all ages. You just might talk normal versus talk like this with the kids, you know? So you can really do the same thing. And even in these adult clinics, like we actually told the adults one of these days, this is the same stuff we actually do with 5 and 6 year olds. And at the start they were like, oh, really? And then they kind of like are like, oh, am I like not very good? And then all of a sudden they start playing and they're having a blast. So yeah, that was an extremely long answer, but I think I just gave a lot of detail, which is great. Yes, my mom is watching. Amazing. What up, Goons? What up, my guy? Hope you're doing well. I just popped in. Is this the 198? I tried the 100, and it's the only pure drive I've ever liked. This is the 100, man. Only way to go with the pure drive, all right? None of this 98 shit, okay? I know some people are loving the 98 and this, that, and the other, but listen. We go full in on the 100. Full in. And my computer just died, so I'm not able to see comments. Bear with me. Bear with me. I hope I don't lose all those comments, actually. Okay, yes, I understand what you mean, but teaching closed and open stance to a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old, they don't care. They want to hit the ball over the net, and they want to have a good time. And I know that my 5 and 7-year-olds think about getting the popsicle on Fridays as well. So yes, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it's the time to get extremely picky with technique and footwork. You know, if a kid progresses well, they're going to move up in age groups where things like that will be talked about, or lessons, like private lessons as well, are great to really iron these things out. Because the big thing here is, you know, whether you're 5 and you're playing with an orange ball, or you're 13 and you're in an orange or a green lesson, you know, people originally sign up to play, and we have like a one high performance group. If we're talking high performance, yes, you know, sorry, I'm just gonna log in. If we're talking high performance and we're like really breaking down a playing situation, and we're talking about, okay, when you're on the run here, you're gonna do this footwork here, it's the most effective, blah, blah, blah. Then yes, we'll break it down and say, you should be using this stance, you need to run through the ball this way, whatever. But you know, not with kids. There's so many other better things to talk about probably than that, especially at the beginner and beginner, rec, and even intermediate levels. But of course, higher performing juniors or high intermediate lessons, or even beginner private lessons, if someone asks a question about that, or I feel like it's needed to speak upon or about how they're hitting the ball, then I would chime in on that. But for the most part, at young levels, I'm not really talking about that stuff. Was I ever a pure drive user? No, I was not. I think the pure drive, the pure drive user, they have like a clan, you know. I think the pure drive clan is kind of cool. I wish I was a part of the pure drive clan. Maybe I will be a part of the pure drive clan. Yeah, we'll see here. It's a 100 square inch racket. It's pretty stiff. I'm putting in a pretty control oriented string, so we'll see if it brings down the power here. That's one thing that I'm a little bit worried about. Sometimes these power frames are just crazy powerful, and that's great, but yeah. I think I will like it. It's just whether or not it will be for me. I think I will get great spin out of it. One thing I'm a little bit nervous about is playing on the back end. The grip felt a little short, which is weird because normally I like the Babolat grips, but I don't know if they changed something or I just need to get rid of this small grip tape thing that they put on their rackets that I think are really stupid. It holds the grip in place, but doesn't. But no, I have never been a pure drive user, so maybe I will in the future here. You know, the paint job, it's starting to grow on me. It is starting to grow on me. It's like kind of muted. It has a muted vibe. It's not a racket that's popping, but it's kind of there. And I play with the Extreme. That racket is super bright. I wouldn't say normally I feel like the racket color sometimes can, relate and correlate to one's personality. If somebody picks a really bright paint job or it can show how they play tennis. Sometimes, not all the time. But I would say for me, I don't know, I would say that is not true for me. I'm pretty bright, happy dude, but I don't know, that new Extreme Pro line is super, super bright. What string are you putting in that beast? What's up, Rich? I actually just saw your comment before. I didn't get to read it, but I saw it in the Discord. Guys, Rich is a member now. So if you guys want to be a member too, and you want to be in our Discord, there's 16 people on here right now. I think we were up to 25 earlier, but if you want to be part of the Discord, I'm in there all the time answering questions. So please check that out if you want to be a member of the channel. I am stringing, so yes, Rich, I will get to your question in the Discord too as well. But I'm stringing restring sync, all 17 gauge in the Pure Drive. The reason for that is the 18 gauge I think would break quite fast. Usually in Babolat rackets or Pure Drives, Pure Arrows, E-Zones, V-Cores, rackets that have really open 16, 19 beds, the strings are gonna break. Easier. Just because the bed takes more of a hit with the ball because it's very hard to explain actually. But when the ball is hitting, the string takes more because the bed is more open, so it wears on the strings more. So people that use rackets that are 100 square inches and they're at a high level, they may tend to break more strings. Like when I was 16, I was using a Pure Arrow and I was breaking strings like potato chips, a couple times a week. And this was when I was a junior as well, so it was super annoying. And I was using like a 16 gauge string there too. So yeah, grip did feel short for me too on my backhand. I extended the overgrip to be longer past the replacement lol. Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't like hearing that. I was hoping that I would just take off this little thing and be okay there, but maybe not. We shall see. I think too, not that I did this on purpose, I wanted to put restring sync in here, but the gray string I think really looks nice in this racket. It's just not, it's not too crazy, but it looks nice with kind of the muted colors. What string machine is that? Babolat Star 5 Navigator. It's probably like 15 years old. I know that our school has had it for years and years and years. It's not my stringer, it's our team's. But the other thing here that I'm thinking about this Pure Drive, yes, of course it looks nice, but the other thing is that I had the E-Zone 100 in my room. And, whoops, this E-Zone 100 looks like, I don't even know, it looks like 2 rackets together. It's huge, but it's only 100 square inch. But when you have, you know, a 100 square inch racket that is isometric, it looks huge. Like the beam is thick and the racket head is like humongous. So I don't know if that's gonna affect maneuverability or feeling on court. Whereas like a 100 square inch racket like this, I feel like still feels traditional in a way. I feel like I tend to gravitate more towards, you know, traditional rackets. Traditional as in radical, extreme pro, head speed, pure strike type frames. Not traditional as in pro staff, prestige, you know, pro stocky rackets. Not like that. I mean just like rackets that are like traditional in between 98, 100 square inch head size, but like circular. Like I'll give you guys a little bit of info on my gravity review. That's gonna come out in a few days, but I love the playtest. And one of the things that I harped on a little bit is I actually have the racket in the room right now because I did the video on it. I just feel like the teardrop head shape, it takes a little bit to get used to. It just looks a little bit awkward. It didn't affect my play necessarily, but it's definitely interesting. I have a VCore 95 and the head is nice and compact, but I'm also not a fan of isometric head. I get that. The VCore 95 was one of my favorite Yonex rackets actually. Yeah, I've always had a hard time with the E-Zone, you know, regular line. And the VCore regular line, it just never hit home with me. But hey, tons of people love it, so I don't really want to be one to complain or anything. But yeah, the teardrop head shape is unique. Nordic dots, I know some of you might not be really familiar with them either. They also do a weird looking head shape. I could be wrong, I think I am wrong, but maybe Pro Kennex does some weird stuff with their head too. They definitely have weird tech in their rackets. But yeah. Did you get both E-Zone 98 and 100? Looking forward to a video on that. The E-Zone 98 they're struggling to keep this one in inventory in Canada right now. So I only have the 100 for now, but the 98 will come. Just maybe not for a few more weeks. I also have the Clash 100. the Clash Pro. And being completely honest, that's a racket that like I'm doing it for the viewers, not necessarily for myself at all. I get pumped up to do a lot of racket reviews, but the Clash is just like, you know, it's just, I just know I won't like it. I mean, that racket just has nothing to offer for me. But yeah. One thing that I found out earlier today, while I was getting ready for this recording for the gravity is 59 stiffness. So the gravity line is really good for people that, you know, might have some arm pain or wrist or shoulder or anything. Comfort was great on that racket, even with a stiff string. So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. About halfway done here, I think. Still rocking 50 pounds. Woo. Guys, we also have Australian Open finals and semifinals coming up. Iga lost last night. Not last night, technically this morning for us, in the night for the Aussies. You know, am I surprised? Yes and no. She seems to steamroll everyone until around the fourth round, quarters or semis in every slam. And then she either will win it or she will lose in 3. But it's so weird how like she will just annihilate somebody at the level of Emma Navarro and then play Madison Keys and lose in 3. Now, it could be a lot of things. Maybe she didn't play as well. Maybe she wasn't feeling great. Maybe Madison Keys has been playing really well. So you can't be hard on her either. But I feel like that's a little bit of a trend that she has occasionally. It's that she's just destroying people. And then she plays someone that maybe is like top 15 in the world and like just loses. And that sounds kind of cutthroat actually for me, so maybe I should redact those words, but I don't know. I feel like she just has such a big potential. She plays very different than a lot of the girls. She grinds hard. She's a great mover. She does anything to put the ball back. And she doesn't do it often, but you know, she volleys and her serve is decent as well. I mean, to be number 1 in the world like her, you need to be able to do everything pretty good. So, but then she does struggle against players like Madison Keys or like Sabalenka from time to time because of the way they play tennis. Very power, very dictate oriented. So I'm not surprised that she lost to her. I'm kind of sad. I was hoping she would win it because she never won the Aussie before. She's won US Open. She's won French Open a few times, but she's never gotten, you know, Australian or Wimbledon. I don't know if she ever has a Wimbledon in her. Just don't know if she plays that great on grass for her to really win, but you never know. Who's your pick, men and women, for Australian Open? So I guess Madison Keys is into the final. Today is Friday there. So Sabalenka won, right? So it's them two in the, yeah, so, oof. I feel bad for Madison Keys because I feel like she's not gonna win that. Sabalenka has been like super on it. She hasn't had an easy draw, but has played well. it's not like I'm watching all of Sabalenka's matches or Ortiz. Like, it's hard for me to really say it. I follow women's tennis, but I don't watch it like every waking second. If I had to put money on it, I would probably say Sabalenka. I think she has better experience in bigger matches. However, Madison Keys is in form. She's playing good. She seems like she's got her ducks in a row. But to play against the two-time defending champion, I don't know. That's kind of tough. Also, I just feel like Sabalenka just doesn't really have pressure on her, even though she's #1 in the world and 2 times defending champ there. Why do I think that? Just because she's already won 2 slams there, right? I think she's won 2 slams there. Let's see real quick. Sabalenka has won 3 single slams total. Yeah, so she won the US Open too. So like, she's really got nothing to lose. So if she loses, like, whatever. So then I feel like she'll probably play quite free. So that makes me think if Sabalenka plays free, it's hard for any girl to beat her. So I will put my money on Sabalenka. Men? What do we got in the men left? We got Sinner. He's playing. Who is he playing? He's not playing Novak, is he? I don't think so. He might be playing Ben Shelton. Ben Shelton. Oh, what a big match tonight. Woo! Djokovic versus Sasha. I forgot about this. This is crazy, guys, okay? Listen, I was never Team Novak, ever. Like, I liked him, I respect him, but I was never part of the fan base. Now I'm full in because of Sir Andy Murray. We all know that I love Andy Murray so much. Like, I love Andy so much, okay? So wherever Andy is, I cheer for this camp, okay? So I'm full in for Novak. I hope he beats Sasha. I don't know if he will. I know he didn't practice. He didn't practice yesterday because he did tweak something against Carlos. I mean, in order to beat Carlos, you kind of need to go balls to the wall. And that's what he did. And then when you go balls to the wall, it's hard not to hurt somewhere in your body at that level. And he's like old now. So Sasha, like, I watched him play a couple matches and I've seen his highlights. Like, he also looks really good, and like, his time for a slam, it's coming, I think. If he doesn't do it this year or next year, I don't think he ever will. So maybe he's gonna be tight, I don't know. It's actually exciting. So I guess my pick, I wanna say Novak, but I just don't think he can do it. Never count him out though. So I will say Sinner. I think if Sinner is healthy, he said he was feeling better after one of the matches there a few days ago because he was not feeling well before he went on court. He said he's feeling fine. If he is fit and healthy, Sinner destroys the field. That's how confident I am in him. I want Novak to win because I think it would be just so amazing. I talked about this in the last live. If he wins, he's already beaten the game of tennis. He just keeps rewriting history and just is being GOAT with Andy, and I think it's cool. So that's my rant about that. I just got extremely fired up for pretty much no reason. I think it's a matchup dependent. Iga tends to struggle against bigger hitters. That's very true. I was rooting for Alcaraz. Now that he's out, it would be interesting to see Sheldon win it. Yeah, I mean, I know Shelton is just so like, big game, big roar. That's just not my style. So like guys that are all about the, like, I really struggle with that. Like, if they're playing for me on my collegiate team, bring it, baby. But like, like, it's just not traditional. I'm more traditional like that. Like, I would be more, I would think like a Roger and a Rafa, but I would probably act like a hybrid in between them and Andy, because I feel like in the last 6 months, my emotions sometimes have gotten the better of me, guys. Probably for the worst, but I'm not roaring and just a bucket of emotions like Shelton is, and that's one thing I just don't like from him. But yeah, I see this comment. I still have some other ones to answer, but he is cringy. It's just like him in his like on clothing, looking like a popsicle, just yelling and whatever. I just feel like he thinks he's cool. Like he thinks he's like Mr. Big Shot, and he kind of is. Like I guess you're the semifinals of Grand Slam. He's got millions in the bank now. He can kind of do whatever he wants. So I wish I was Ben Shelton for that, but I'm not. But I don't know. I think he thinks he's got extra swag. Like this whole thing, get out of here. Like that's garbage. Like I hated that. Somebody brought that up the other day that was like, Kate, I'm gonna do this celebration if we win. And I was like, please don't embarrass yourself like that. Like, wow, it's collegiate tennis. Like, I guess if you're playing Ben Shelton and you want to shove it in his face, you can do that celebration, but not my favorite celebration I've seen. And then when Novak did it back at him, it was just, that was also cringy, but it was funny. What's the major difference between head speed and peak gravity tour? That's a loaded question. Sorry. The gravity tour is just better. I like the gravity tour more. A little more control you get with the tour. Didn't feel as bulky in hand. On serve was probably a little bit more precise. Overall, just better. Yeah. Of course, that's for me. On the slice, it was way better. You have to bring your own power. Speed gives you power. Yes, I would agree with that. The gravity tour still gives you quite a bit, though. I was surprised. Shelton is cringy. Yes, haha. Yes, I agree. A bit cringe. I think he'll grow out of it once he matures a bit. Well, I sure hope so, because if this man is doing this crap when he's like 35, that'll be a little odd. But I think he's my age, actually. So, there's two different types of 19 to 21-year-olds. You got people like me that are just kind of like floating and like on the tennis court emotions-wise. And, they'll give the odd come on, but, relatively quiet. I would put like Holger Rune in this category. Now, Holger Rune, some people are going to be like losing their mind here. They're going to be like, what do you mean Holger Rune? I hate this guy. Okay, Holger Rune is a little bit of a baby from time to time, okay? But like on court-wise, he's definitely more calm. I would say he does have his moments. I wouldn't compare myself to Holger Rune, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, but he's definitely calmer compared to Ben Shelton. Then you have people like Ben Shelton that are just like, honestly, like all over the place. I feel like his mind is like a party. Maybe that's how it should be. I don't know, but he's definitely having a good time out there. So, I guess all power to him. But guys, we are on the second last cross here. So with that, get these questions in here, load them up. About 5-ish minutes left. And yeah, what was I gonna say? I forget what I was gonna say. Guess it wasn't that important. Next time we will be on a live will be when? I don't know. Maybe this weekend sometime. Maybe we'll string up an E-Zone on a live this weekend or a Clash. Come back and chat with you all. I know that I will try and get a lot of demos done here soon, just so it doesn't start to cut into the season and that stuff. So talk about some more rackets on some more lives here in the future. The gravity video is coming out soon. I finished up recording all that stuff today. And yeah, we'll be able to talk about Australian Open too. How long until your season starts? We have a first match on February 8th. That will be at home in the indoors against Babson College. It's like an exhibition. They're like a small Ivy Division III school. Actually a really good program. My sophomore year we played them and we lost. And last year we actually gave them a nice little spank, but was still pretty close. So yeah, it'll be a nice one to kick off the year. Then we have February 15th, which is against Boston College in Boston, against, you know, pretty good D1 program there. You know, they're in a tough conference. I don't know if you guys are familiar with college tennis, but they play in the ACC conference, and that is tough. They play against like U Miami and Duke, I think, and like, yeah, they get shat on. So compared to those teams, they're not great, but like compared to us, it's definitely a great match for us. We've never been able to beat them. And they brought in some good players, like the #1 doubles team that me and my partner played last year. They were top 15 in the country. We lost to them like 6-2 or 6-3. So they always bring in some good players. Yeah, we have those guys. So February 8th, February 15th, and then February 27th, believe it or not, we are headed to Hawaii, which is going to be epic, and we're going to play 2 matches there. Once again, I think they're exhibitions, because I don't think that school is a D2. So it'll show up on the record, but won't really count. And then we come back, play a couple regional matches, and then conference starts, which is a big deal. Play that, play a couple more regional matches, maybe a couple exhibitions, and boom, playoffs. Hawaii, jealous, yep. Yeah, no, I am so amped, all right? So pumped. Are you looking switching from the Extreme or trying out new rackets for the channel? This is solely for the channel. If I find something during the process, then obviously it's always up for discussion with, you know, the people around me that help me make those decisions. But for now, no switching for now. But yeah, Hawaii, like extremely fired up. It's a great opportunity to have a good time while play some tennis and get some reps with great people and have great fun. So yeah, I'm pretty fired up for that. Like I've never been on a plane that long before. The flight's like 13 hours, which will be wild, from Boston to Honolulu. And then I even think we fly into Honolulu, we're staying in that area for 8-ish days, and then we'll fly to another island to play another team. I think that's how it's gonna go. So we are gonna have a great trip there. So yeah, it'll be awesome. But this is the Pure Drive. This is, you know, I'm getting fired up here now. I wanna go play today. We didn't have practice today, so that's why I'm in here with you guys right now. We just had an off day today, so. Watching Magnum PI is as close as I got to Hawaii. Okay, that's funny. Magnum PI, what a show. Okay guys, yeah, thanks so much for sticking by, oh my God, sticking around. Gravity Tour review. Gonna come out here in a few days, and this is the Pure Drive. Gonna swing weight, and balance all this stuff here probably today or tomorrow if I have some time. So excited, I'm fired up, it looks good, and I can say that the paint job has grown on me now. So thanks so much. We'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, subscribe, like, join the community if you want. and we'll catch you guys next time. Next time, we'll see you.